Los Angeles, the metropolis referred to as the entertainment capital of the entire globe, has recently witnessed a surge in global recognition. In the past couple of days, a narrative has emerged that suggests LA is finding itself in a siege. However, what's truly happening here? Is this depiction of events factual or merely a political concoction? It's essential to acknowledge that claims of a siege in LA are not supported by real-life evidence. To the contrary, LA has consistently been dealing with various challenges such as crime, homelessness, and traffic congestion, among others. Certainly, these issues have been compounded by the ever-evolving pandemic. However, attributing it to a siege is both inaccurate and baseless. Instead of focusing on such dubious narratives, it would be more constructive to address the various pressing issues that the city is confronting. For instance, crime rates have reduced in recent years, and Los Angeles Department of Public Works has invested in efforts to address homelessness. Furthermore, many city initiatives, including the development of affordable housing, seek to address the growing gap between the rich and the poor in the area. In conclusion, it is crucial to avoid propagating baseless narratives that do not align with factual evidence. Instead, we should concentrate on presenting well-researched, fact-based information that could have a positive impact on the decision-making process. In the past few days, a narrative has emerged claiming that LA is under siege. But what is really happening? Is this claim factual or merely political drama?
Of Los Angeles, a line of the National Guard, under the control of the president, not California's governor, stands in front of a federal detention center, and the troops look out at this.
No, National Guard!
For 4 days, the people of the city have taken to the streets, angered not just at the administration's detention and deportation of immigrants across the city, but the increasingly authoritarian moves by the White House.
We are Donald Trump's worst nightmare. We're here, we're showing him we're not rioters, we're not looters. We don't want the Gestapo in our neighborhood.
Even though the demonstrations only saw a few fireworks yesterday and a handful of arrests, this was the response from the president. A convoy of some 700 Marines, active U.S. troops, now deployed, on top of an extra 2,000 federalized National Guard. Democrats accused the White House of inflaming tensions. Today, Trump said his actions had stopped further violence and was asked whether he'd invoke the Insurrection Act, allowing U.S. troops to essentially police the American people.
At the height of the protests in Los Angeles, President Donald Trump declared the city under siege. He even called in the National Guard and Marines to intervene. Trump stated, "This chaos is a criminal invasion that must be stopped." But is the entire city really in danger? This claim paints Los Angeles as a war zone. However, the facts on the ground tell a different story. According to ABC News, the violence was confined to a very small area, just a few blocks in downtown.
If there's an insurrection, I would certainly invoke it. We'll see, but I can tell you last night was terrible. The night before that was terrible. If we didn't get involved, right now, Los Angeles would be burning, just like it was burning a number of months ago with all the houses that were lost. Los Angeles right now would be on fire.
The president may think he's stopping the demonstrations in LA, but they're popping up elsewhere. Protests from the East Coast in New York down south to Texas, with demonstrations out in Dallas and the state capital, Austin, where police used tear gas and more than a dozen protesters were arrested.
All these people come here with love, and all the people standing over there with hate, and we're just here to fight that.
We fully support your right to peacefully protest, but let me be absolutely clear. Those who choose to incite violence, engage in vandalism or graffiti, or attack officers will be arrested.
Peaceful protest!
Walk, slow it down. Trust me, you're gonna get trampled.
Every other.
Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest!
Most of you guys are Latino too. I'm willing to bet half of these people silently support us, but because they're making over 100K a year, they gotta do what their masters tell them to do.
This weekend as they rallied against Donald Trump's nationwide immigration raids. Authorities declared downtown LA an unlawful assembly area and ordered anyone in the vicinity to leave immediately as they deployed rubber bullets and tear gas on demonstrators. Rioters have set driverless Waymo cars on fire, looted stores, and created blockades on the 101 freeway. Trump ordered in 2,000 National Guard troops, placed 500 Marines on standby, and called for the arrest of anyone wearing face masks. The conflict has sparked a war of words between Trump and California Governor Gavin Newsom, who accused the president of intentionally inflaming tensions. Trump hit back with a social media post on Sunday demanding both Newsom and LA Mayor Karen Bass to apologize for the riots, with his border czar Tom Homan threatening Newsom and Bass with arrests. Newsom responded by simply saying, "Tom, arrest me. Let's go."
Blower for?
Let our people see!
What's the wind blower for?
Just for the fucking tear gas to blow it back at those motherfuckers! If you have a fucking blower, bring it up! Push him back!
You could say something to Donald Trump right now. What would he say?
Donald Trump! You can suck my left nut, you can get out of my fucking drawer! You're just mad because Salma Hayek wouldn't give you the time of day, and because Claudia Sheinbaum make you look like a fucking loser!
Oh, that sucked. I just got tear gas.
For Trump's critics, this is all part of a broader strategy, because in his second term, the president has consistently declared emergencies in order to bypass Congress and make it easier to take decisive action. He did that in April, declaring an economic emergency so he could announce his infamous list of tariffs.
China, 67%. That's tariff.
And he's already touted his desire to take powers away from the states on the campaign trail.
And one of the other things I'll do Because, you know, you're supposed to not be involved in that. You just have to be asked by the governor or the mayor to come in. The next time, I'm not waiting.
Trump has not waited this time or this term, and it's the speed with which he has acted that has worried his critics, who believe the president is using California to test the extent of his powers.
It makes me feel like our city is actually a test case for what happens when the federal government moves in and takes the authority away from the state or away from local government. I don't think that our city should be used for an experiment.
Today the scene was quiet, the guards able to chit-chat rather than stare down the protesters. But will the calm last? Because President Trump is determined to pursue his immigration policy and continue ICE raids across the country. That in turn will fuel protests, which in turn will force the White House response. A never-ending cycle that threatens to tear America in two. But well, joining me now from California is Mike Majid, a Republican political consultant. Mr. Majid, thanks for coming on the program. Do you think the president was right to deploy all these troops, the National Guard and then the Marines?
No, he certainly was not. It was a dramatic overreach of federal power that's, if not unprecedented in this country's history, then certainly on the verge of it. So no, absolutely not. He should not have done this at all. It's an escalation, pure and simple. He's looking for violence. He's looking for conflict. He's looking to tear the country apart.
I mean, what you're saying there, because some serious accusations that I've heard from lots of other people as well. Why do you think he wants to do that? Why do you think he's prepared to go down that road?
Well, look, this is not new. This has been his design all along, and I think what Mayor Bass said was entirely accurate. It's not just Mike Madrid, a Republican consultant, saying it. It's the Democratic mayor of Los Angeles. This is pretty apparent to everybody. Look, the president is at historically low popularity levels. He's moving forward a very, very unpopular budget, which increases his power dramatically while increasing our deficits exponentially. The only issue where he has some level of support over 50% is on immigration. This is exactly the playbook that he ran the first time he was president in the wake of the George Floyd murders. So this is the way that he seeks to maintain control. This is the way he seeks to define an enemy. Seeking contrast and opposition is central to what Trumpism is. And unfortunately, it looks like we're going to be in for a long 4 years here in the United States.
And when we introduced you, Mike Majid, we described you as a Republican.
I am a Republican. I was one of the co-founders of the Lincoln Project. Been very anti-Trump, as are a lot of Republicans in this country. And I think we'll see more in the future.
So do you think that, as Mayor Bass said, this is a test case, that LA is a laboratory for the president might want to apply this to other parts of the country? Is that a serious concern?
It's a very serious concern. It's a very legitimate concern. And I think the mayor probably didn't recognize that, again, some of this test run began during the riots in the summer of the president's last term. This is not a new strategy. Having masked federal employees, law enforcement officials on the streets of the United States is not something that we are accustomed to. This is not normal. And yeah, I think this is going to spread very quickly, especially during the summer.
What about the Latina community? Because many of them voted for President Trump, more than in 2016 or even in 2020. Do they now have buyer's remorse, or do they actually support some of the stuff that he's doing with immigration?
It's a great question. I think there's going to be a little bit of both. The book I wrote is called The Latino Century, focused on just that question, whether Latinos are going to continue voting as an economic pocketbook voter, or whether they will regress toward a more ethnic, racially identified voter. This is going to test the theory of that case. My strong suspicion is in the midterms, you will see some regression of Latinos back to the Democratic Party, but it will not be anything like we saw in 2018 or in 1994. We had these external pressures facing the Latino community like we are witnessing now. And the reason is because the dramatic explosion of Latino voters is overwhelmingly with third, now fourth generation Latinos who don't have that ethnic tie as they did generations before.
Majid in Sacramento, California, thank you very much indeed.